Rachel from the Stitch Sisters, and you may notice that sadly I am back alone for my new video because the lovely Nikki is back! Yay! That amused us, if it didn't anyone else.
I'm back, I'm brown. I had a lovely time.
Yes.
But it's nice to be back.
Yes, it's lovely to be back. Lovely to have her back and to be back together. So we thought we would do a new video. We have been busy sewing.
It's a bumper video.
It is a bumper video because even though Nikki's not been back for long, she did come back with a real itch to sew, didn't you?
Rachel knew I was nearly coming back because I was basically ordering fabric and ordering patterns about a week before I arrived back in the country.
Yeah.
So all of these deliveries kept arriving and
we thought with this next video, we thought that we would review a few top patterns because we love a chuck it on easy to wear top.
Yes.
Something that you can wear casually with jeans, or something that you could put on with a smart pair of trousers and heels and wear for a
dress
slightly...
it up or dress it down.
Yeah, exactly. And there have been lovely new pattern releases recently and a few others that we wanted to make for class and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to be reviewing 3 new patterns today.
Bumper video.
We're going to be reviewing the Breton top from the most recent Sewing Bee book, which is the one that I'm wearing here. And we're also going to be reviewing the latest Seamworks pattern, if you're a subscriber to the Seamworks
this one
magazine. So the Greta which
top.
Nikki is wearing, we've both made those as well. And then also one from Tessuti Fabrics, the Leni top. So we're going to review each of those for you and just give you some of the things that we've picked up along the way.
Show you some lovely
a few pearls of wisdom, if we have any to spare. And hopefully if you're thinking about making those tops or just any kind of basic tops, then that'll be useful for you.
They're all quite quick makes as well, so and you don't need a lot of fabric.
Yeah, so what should we start with?
Let's start with the Breton.
Okay.
It's the one that
so
you're wearing.
The Breton top, the reason we decided to make these is because we're actually running a class on these at the Sodbury Sewing School, and it came from the latest Sewing Bee book, From Stitch to Style, and Maisie's under the table here licking.
Let me bring her up.
So, so it's a little bit distracting. There you go. You can be in the video.
You can be in the video.
She'll probably steal all the attention. But yes, we decided to put it in as a class just because we thought spring, summer. So this one is a slightly modified version. I'm going to insert some pictures. First of all, I'll insert a picture of what it actually looks like in the Sewing Bee book. So you should see that over Nikki's face right now. And then what we'll do is insert some video of the ones that we've made. So the one that I made, which should be coming up now, is a short sleeve version. So because it's a grown-on sleeve, you can decide at any length that you want to have the sleeve. But I decided that I actually quite like the contrast stripes, so I didn't want to do away with the sleeve completely. So I decided just to insert a very small amount so that it looked like a band. I've also done a cropped version because I like to wear everything cropped because I usually wear it with high-waisted trousers. And the ideal or the desired length on this pattern is just a little bit too low for me, so I prefer to wear that a little bit higher. So I took, I think, 4 inches off the bottom, just to give it more of a cropped look. That did mean that I did away with some of the little hem details, which I'll show you on Nikki's. So coming up now is Nikki's version,
which I made out of Fabricland jersey.
Yes, I think they're both Fabricland jerseys.
Yeah. And I decided to do mine straight out of the box, which is always my way.
Pretty much. You did shorten the sleeve a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, but it's a full sleeve, and I didn't because it's a summer weight jersey, and because I wanted to, have it a bit shorter, I just cut it off at the elbow. So I kept everything else exactly the same. Did the bottom exactly the same, and I love the little slit at the side, the little boxes at the bottom. It's a very nice little feature. But they're very wearable and they're doable as a class. And so, ladies, if you're coming along or you want to come, then Fabricland's a great place to go and look for some striped jersey.
We just wanted to do slightly different variations so that you felt like you could experiment a little bit. So it doesn't have to be the traditional navy and white stripe. It can be any width stripe and it can be any colour stripe, but it doesn't have to be stripe at all. So if you fancy just making it as a very wearable basic jersey top, you could pick any jersey fabric you like.
So next up we're going to talk about the Greta tops, which is a Tessuti Oh no, it's not. That's the other one. This is the
Seamworks Magazine.
I'm getting a bit confused. So when I came back from holiday, just as I was coming back from Australia, Seamworks launched their May magazine, and for every magazine you get two downloads.
Yeah.
So they release 2 patterns in that 1 month.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have those patterns. You can use your downloads and credits towards other patterns.
The great thing about, if you're not already a subscriber, is I think it costs $6 a month,
yes,
which works out at the moment about £4.90. And the great thing about it is that in addition to getting those 2 patterns, you'll also get at least 2 hacks for each of those patterns.
Yeah.
So they always give you ways that you can change it slightly, mix it up slightly. So the Greta top variations, I'll put some pictures up now, but you do have the option to actually have a button up front or poppers, and then there's
the straight shoulders, so where it just joins, and then there's also the ones with the ties as well. And I think it's the kind of thing that once you make a couple, you could do your own hacks on it.
Absolutely.
You could add different things. You don't have to add the pocket, but it's a great basic kind of shell style top. But it was a really simple make. I did have a bit of a jet lag moment when I printed the pattern, I cut the pattern out, I cut my fabric and made the whole top and then tried it on. I made 2 of them. And I could have got a small child in the top with me because I basically just forgot that it was American. I think that was what I did. So I cut a size 12, which is what I am standard size in the UK. Didn't particularly, I think, look at or register any of the measurements. I just
so a size 12 in American sizes would be a size 16 in UK sizes.
So I cut it, and I basically had to take about 2 inches at least off each side. But that was really simple to do. But I was just a bit annoyed with myself that I'd made such a simple error.
The sizing is actually something to watch on this pattern anyway, just because it does have an awful lot of ease and more than we would normally want in a top. 7 inches on the bust, and that is probably more. I'd usually consider 4 inches on the bust to be sort of the maximum that I would want.
This is still roomy, and I think this is about 3 or 4 inches, but I wouldn't wear it any bigger than that.
No. I think it is important to look at the finished garment measurements on this pattern before deciding your size, rather than just plumping for whatever you normally go for, because you may find that with that amount of ease you want to go down a size or 2, which is always nice, isn't it, to make a couple of sizes
cutting
smaller.
A size 4. This is great. I don't even know what that means, but that's great. And it's so you've got the option of the ties at the top. This one I went for the straight shoulders, and it's a front and a back, which are both cut in the fold.
I'll just put up a video here of Nikki actually wearing this top and more details. And
then it's 2 facings, which are joined together, which is all inside. So you've got front facing and a back facing.
Yes, so it's an all-in-one facing.
All-in-one facing. So it deals with all of your edges and everything like that. You can top stitch it. You'll see on my pink one, which we'll insert as well, that I chose to go for a really a jet black top stitching all the way around and around the pocket and everything like that. I love a bit of top stitching, so the challenge of being able to make it look as good as possible in a black stitch against the pink fabric was great. So I really enjoyed that.
So that video you should be seeing now, the pink one, it's got lovely swallows on it, hasn't it? And it's
more drapey. It's more drapey fabric.
It is a more drapey fabric, and it's got the ties on it the size that they were intended to be for the pattern, so you can see that they are quite oversized, and that is part of the look. So that's nice in some fabrics, I think.
Side.
A bit like bunny ears. That's what they remind me of. And then I decided I liked the length of it, so I didn't want to crop it any more than it already was, but I did think that the ties were a little bit too long for my liking, too much like bunny ears. So I did reduce the size of the ties quite significantly. I took about 4 inches out of the length of the ties. I also lowered the neckline slightly because I just thought that was more flattering on me. It was a bit too high otherwise. But it is definitely a top that if it's a 54 inch or wider fabric, you could definitely get it out for a metre. The ties, if you're doing full length, you need to cut 8 of those, which means that you do need a little bit more for that. But if you're just going for the standard shoulder, then you should be able to get that quite happily out of a metre. So it's really good for if you've got fabric left over from another project, then it'd be perfect for that.
I've got some Liberty fabric, which is very expensive, so I could only afford to buy a metre. So
I've got some too that you bought me. So,
I need to squeeze a top out of a metre of fabric. So I think this might be the perfect one.
Excellent.
So
Yes,
we'll do that.
So we would highly recommend the Greta. It's a very wearable,
and to have a look
everyday
at
top.
Seamwork as well.
I also think it would work really nicely in sort of like a silk or something a little bit more evening-y. And then you could just pair it with, you know, some cigarette pants and heels or something for a night out. That would be a really nice look too. So yeah, that's the Greta. So the final top that we wanted to show you today is the Leni top from Tessuti Fabrics, and this is one that we saw when the Fold Line do their monthly pattern reviews, pattern roundup, and we absolutely love that. That's one of our absolute favourite YouTube
we love
videos
you, the
that we
Fold
watch
Line.
every
Can
month.
we just say hello?
And we always watch that to see what new patterns, because it's just such a thorough roundup. They do loads of pattern companies that you wouldn't even think to look for, so you literally can they showcase certain ones on the video, but actually on the blog post, which there's always a link to, there's a lot more patterns, and so you can go and have a look at all of those. So we always have a good look at those, and the Leni top really jumped out because it's another cropped one, and I like my cropped tops.
We liked the simplicity of it.
We did.
The pattern itself, when you look at it, is in a plain white, which is what I chose to make mine out of. But I love the fact that they had been bold enough to choose plain white fabric. You very rarely see any patterns which are made in that kind of crispness, and because it properly shows off all of the intricate details on the neckline and the seams.
So the details that we like is it has a lovely wide facing on the V-neck. And also on the hem, and that's actually top stitched in place, so you get a nice little stitch detail around the other the sort of far side of the facing, and that creates a lovely detail. The one that I made is just coming up now, so I made it out of a red challis, just a viscose challis, which is quite drapey, and I knew that then it wouldn't be too boxy on me. And I actually love it. I've had the fabric for ages, and I wanted to just test it really and see if it was something that I would wear, and I do really, really love it. So I'm definitely going to make some more of those. And then Nikki's.
Yes, I bought fabric for 2. Same fabric. I can't remember. It was cotton
poplin.
Cotton poplin that I got from Fabric
World.
No.
Land.
No.
Room.
We might be here for a while. I think it was Dragonfly Fabric.
Oh, okay, lovely.
Dragonfly Fabric. Because I was looking for something really crisp and not just an ordinary 100% cotton. I wanted something that was a bit more structured. It was a bit thicker. I wanted that sort of.
You wanted to recreate the exact top
that I saw, and I did, and it worked out fabulous. The one thing they do these little shields. You can explain the shields.
The pattern they call them Violin shields, but it's basically, if you've ever used something called sew and tear to stabilise your stitch lines, it's like
an embroidery.
It looks like a sort of heavyweight interfacing, and what you do is you stitch through it. That creates perforations in it, and then you're able to tear it away afterwards. So it's a good way of stabilising your seam lines, but not actually leaving the interfacing in the fabric once you've actually sewn it. In hindsight, because I used a challis, and that really does fray an awful lot, and it's also very fluid, it's not very stable at all, then the shields were actually really very helpful, because Nikki's fabric was made out of a cotton poplin, which is quite stable.
It was very stable.
Easy to sew.
I still use them because we weren't really sure the benefit of them one way or another. But to be honest, I probably won't use it on the black fabric because I haven't made that one yet.
What size? We both made the medium, so that you can see if you get some idea of what the sizing is like. And
I
what
took
the
mine
ease is
in.
like.
I took it in by 5/8 and I took it in by 1/4 again on each side.
It's a long video.
It is.
But we have covered 3 patterns.
Yes.
So we hope that you think it's been worth watching. And if you're thinking about making any of those patterns, we'll put the links to the patterns and the fabrics that we used in the comments below.
And if you need any advice, drop us a comment underneath and
Yeah.
we'll help you out. Or if you want to help, you know, if you want to send us pictures of what you've made.
Oh, we'd love to see
We'd
your
love
versions.
that. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
absolutely.
And we might even do a follow-up of all of our ladies in their Breton tops.
Yeah,
we could do a little
that'd be
video
nice. We could
because
add
that
that
class
to the
is
end.
coming up next week, so
Yeah.
we can maybe
Fantastic.
tag that on later on.
So hopefully we'll see you soon for another video.
It's nice to be back. See you later.
Bye guys.